Hey everybody, Nerd in Texoma here. It's finally past the 4th of July weekend. Hope y'all had a good one. Ate some burgers, hot dogs if you're in the States. If you're viewing from out of the country, hope y'all had a good day. I know for y'all it would have been just another day, so hopefully it was good. Today, I am going to be talking about and showcasing the new Walmart exclusive G1 Transformers the movie cartoon accurate Thundercracker. Now, as many of y'all will remember, earlier this year I got the Starscream, which is basically the same thing as every other Seeker jet mold out there, pretty much. The only difference would be what are known as the cone heads, which are thrust, ramjet, and dirge, because they have different wings, come with slightly different weapons, and one different step in transformation that, you can do with the regular Seeker jet if you really wanted to. So, 2 down out of the 3 regular Seekers. You've got Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp. Skywarp is an all-black jet. There's some highlights. He's got the striping on the wings and stuff like that. And hopefully, the line is including him in a future release. Now, a lot of the Walmarts that I've seen, and especially all the ones in my area, are still holding on to the Starscream at full price. They haven't marked it down yet, which, when they've got a new Seeker coming out, or supposed to be out, it makes no sense that you still have the old one at the same price. Hopefully they'll be marking them down soon to make room for Thundercracker here. Personally, I did something that I don't normally do, which is I bought it online. I didn't wait for it to show up in the store because I've been looking for over a month in the Walmarts around me. And, like I say, no Thundercracker. Still a bunch of the Starscream, which I've got him up there. You can't see him, but he's over there. So I did cave and purchase him online on Mercari, so I did pay a little bit over what he'll go for in the store, which is $35. But I did want to have this jet, and sometimes, the distribution around here sucks. When excuse me, when the Starscream in this line was released, there was supposed to be a Hot Rod figure that was released at the same time. I didn't necessarily want Hot Rod. That's a totally different story. People who know G1, know all the storyline behind, did Hot Rod get Optimus Prime killed by Megatron? And yeah, I'm not necessarily a fan of Hot Rod, so but that figure never showed up in stores. You can find it all over eBay, Mercari, all stuff like that, but it just never showed up in stores around me, so I didn't want to take the chance of Thundercracker not showing up in stores around me, because also at this time, the reissue of Hound is supposed to be out, along with Thundercracker, and I haven't seen him either. So again, Hound is one of those figures I can pass on. You know, if I see him in the store and he's on clearance, great, I'll pick him up then. Right now, I don't really need a Hound. For some reason, I've always liked the Jets. They are a very popular figure, even though basically it's the same doggone figure, just painted in different colors. And boy, back in the day and even now, Hasbro knows how to milk a mold just by repainting it and make more money off of it. So, without further ado, you've seen the box, which basically, if you scroll back up in my older videos, you'll see it's very reminiscent of the Starscream box. Basically similar idea. But now, here is the figure itself. Now, I do have him in jet mode at first, and being more cartoon accurate, the decorations on it are a lot simpler. It doesn't have like all the details. It doesn't come with stickers that would have all the different little details on there. Everything is pre-printed, which I think is pretty cool on these Jets. It does take away a little bit of the nostalgia factor from back in the day, getting the figure in and putting the stickers on and stuff, but it's a lot cleaner. The original toy figure would have had some striping going up the vertical wings there, similar to what he's got on the main plane wings. Like I say, he's all just painted, so again, it wasn't in the cartoon, so like the kneecap decals are not going to be there. In foot and robot mode, his feet, they do have a little bit of detail, but they're in the original toy. It would have been a whole sticker there. There would have been stickers going inside of the intakes there. There would have been stickers on the abdomen, rib area, just everywhere. One of the, I guess, gripes that I have with this figure is if you can see the gaps right there between the body of the plane and the wings. I may be remembering wrong, but I could have swore as a kid that gap wasn't as pronounced, that the wings actually sat a lot closer to the body of the plane than they do now. I may be wrong. I still think he looks cool. Now the toy Thundercracker, he's a darker blue mold, kind of metallic. This is a lighter blue as he was in the animated cartoon. Again, very cool, I think. In my opinion, he's awesome. This is one of those molds that I could probably go nuts collecting them all. And I probably will, as long as they keep cranking them out. Because I've got, of course, the cartoon accurate colored Starscream. I've got the Walmart original G1 reissue of Starscream that came out a couple years prior to that, where he's in the toy colors, basically. I've got in storage a Generation 2 Starscream. I've got Dirge somewhere in storage. I've got that Kingdam, the knockoff Starscream. I think that was in the video I had with the previous recent Walmart release of Starscream. So I've got a bunch of the Seeker Jet bodies, which those are usually found quite frequently and cheaply, because it's just this part. Not these wings, not these wings, because these were very easily lost. So getting replacement wings can be very pricey. The body's cheap. Go ahead and transform this figure now. I'm going to do it off camera because it's just easier that way. But these are what are known as parts formers. Because back in the 80s and the 70s, when these were first designed, they didn't really know how to integrate all of the parts into the figure, so you got to pull some pieces off, put them away, hide them. Like the landing gear here is very easily lost, even when you take the cockpit of the plane and put the landing gear in there and close it. It can still get easily lost. That's just how they go, you know. That's how it is, especially with these vintage ones, or with real vintage ones, not recasts, remolds of vintage ones. Now, in recent times, since 3D printers and people have gotten more adept at making resin molds of things, and like I say, the advent of 3D printers getting easier to use, cheaper, more user-friendly, I guess you would say. There have been people making replacement parts for these figures. They look pretty darn good, you know, pretty close to the originals. So, I mean, if you're looking for parts and don't have a huge budget, you can find some of those reproduction parts like that that will fill out the figure. It will make it look good on your shelf, but please don't try to pass it off as original. I mean, that's just a douche thing to do. I'm sorry, there's no other way to say it. I mean, if you're trying to pass off reproductions as legit original figures, that's just a jerk move all the way around. There's no two ways about Alright, so I have good old Thundercracker transformed here into his robot mode. And like I say, this is what's known as the Seeker mold. So he's going to look shape-wise the same as Starscream and Thundercracker. The only difference is going to be the individual jet colors. Being that this is basically the exact same mold as Starscream, this Walmart reissue came with the exact same items and accessories that Starscream came with just recently and the previous Starscream came with. He's got the reworked fists there with the hole in the top and the little peg thing sticking out of the bottom. The reason he has that is, even though, if I remember correctly, Starscream was the only one to ever hold Megatron in gun mode of the Seekers. I might be wrong on that, but I can't remember it off the top of my head right now. But since this is the Starscream mold that came out earlier, he comes with Megatron in pistol mode. So you can pull this apart and, you know, have good old Thundercracker shooting off Megatron. Same thing with the missiles. It's the same ones that came with Starscream. So they are the wonderful, super long safety missiles that look kind of goofy. Now this one looks the goofiest in my opinion because like that. With the original figure, this part would be way back there. It is spring-loaded, so it does launch. But yeah, this on the original figure, you know, would look something more like that instead of being completely out there. This missile, I can kind of forgive for being that long because, I mean, it looks like it could be like a rocket or something shooting off of his arm or in plane mode. That one I can forgive. This one looks like junk, in my opinion. But again, this is out there. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what locations are getting him right now, but if you're interested in these G1 reissues in the cartoon accurate color and deco style, they're out there. Might have an easier time finding it on eBay, but like I say, anything that you find them on an online store like that, you're gonna pay a little premium for them. You know, if you can find them in the store, that's definitely the way to go to save some money. But I hope y'all enjoyed this. Seeing good old Thundercracker there. I never quite understood why they called the blue one Thundercracker and the all black jet Skywarp, because to me I would think the sky is going to be darker when there's thunder around. Sky warp, you know, the Sky would be light and blue. I don't know. I didn't design the names that way in the bios for the figures back then, so it is what it is. Alright, y'all. Nerd in Texoma, signing out. Be good, stay cool, stay out of this heat. I can tell you from personal experience, do what you can to stay out of this heat. Be good to each other, look out for each other. See you next time. Bye.